So I'm asking particularly Labour, Lib Dem, SNP, Green supporters, is Boris right when he says that your men and women in Westminster that represent you are holding the country hostage over Brexit? Let's go to Val, who's calling from Bracknell. Good morning, Val.
Good morning. Good morning, Mr. Farage. I'm a Remainer and Lib Dem supporter.
Yep.
And I want, at some point, general election.
At some point.
But I don't think Johnson is correct in this occasion because there are 4 ways to have general elections. And he wants to have the way which keeps him in control of PM. It's very easy for him to resign and have general elections. He does not.
Was they would make sure it was implemented. Don't Democrats, genuine Democrats, have a right to be pretty angry at your party?
Yeah, they have. But by the way, I've been a Tory in 2016, so that.
Oh, right. Well, okay, but okay. Well, you've obviously. But can you see why? You know, we have these political parties who promise they'll implement it and then spend 3 years trying to frustrate it, and now you support a party that wants to cancel the result of the referendum. It's extraordinary.
Yeah. May I have another point, please? Because general election is not fair even for the people who are not happy now. It will divide the country because general elections, because of FPTP, we lose usually about 60% of the votes in any general election. And how do you think everybody will feel on your side if Lib Dem gets 30% of the votes and they have majority and force on the country revoking of Article 50?
Well, I think it would be the end of our democratic system. I think it would be an absolute disaster for our international standing. It would be truly dreadful, I think, is my answer to that. But if you're so keen to have this election, what is wrong with the proposal that Boris Johnson has put, that will be voted on in Parliament tomorrow? What is wrong with having a general election on the 12th of December? What's wrong with it?
In principle, it's fine, but we can do it a completely different way.
No. So, no. The Prime Minister has said, right, let's have a general election. Take it or leave it.
Okay. So I prefer to have a referendum first in which each vote counts.
Right.
Okay? See, because in elections, 60% of the votes are lost. We have referendum first in which each vote counts.
Yeah.
Okay?
All right. I tell you what. I'll play your game for a second here. Mm-hmm. So we have a second referendum. What's the question going to be?
The question is, first, obviously, your option, because actually a lot of people support you. Yep. So the first option would be leave on VTO, no deals whatsoever. That's option number one. The second option is mine option, I want to remain. And the third option is Johnson options. He wants to leave. And to make it fair, actually, the leave, we can have preferential vote. So that means that if leave has 20% for Johnson, 30% for you, and 48% for me, your votes accumulate, you win, and we leave on video.
I think,
that's fair.
You know, I think, to be honest with you, the thought that it's going to be multiple choice rather like a GCSE paper, I just don't think it works. I don't think it works.
Because each vote counts. In general election, and you know, 60% of the votes.
Look, I understand. I want wholesale political reform in this country, and I do understand those arguments. But here's my problem, Val. Mm-hmm. If we had another referendum and leave one, would you respect that result, or would you look for a third?
That's what I said.
Why?
Why
not respect the last one? Why not respect the last one?
Because the last one, there was no Johnson option here, and now he wants to leave with his option.
Well, hang on. You haven't told me what your options are. Do you want us to have the euro as our currency?
No, I just want to keep the option.
What about the United States of Europe?
Probably in 10 years, I would see.
So should that be on the ballot paper as well? I mean,
in 10 years, we can.
You see, I keep hearing there are different leave options, there are different remain options. Here's my problem. I don't think you lot in the Liberal Democrats would even respect the result of a second referendum, and Joe Swinson's pretty much said so already.
Yeah, I told you I'll respect the fair vote in which we have all
well, why not respect? Why not respect the last vote?
Because there was no option on the last one. It was just fantasy.
Yes, leave.
I mean,
leave.
Farage, you said something about Norway. So where is the Norway option? You said it would be nice to have.
I said Norway is doing better than us, but we can do better than that. Val, I give up. Thank you. I mean, I think if we had another referendum with a whole series of choices and preferential vote, I think people would lose the will to live in terms of even bothering to go out and trouble the scorer at their local primary school. I really do. You're listening to the Sunday edition of the Nigel Farage Show here on LBC. It is now 10:45.